Hello guys and welcome to another post-game analysis. This time played against Feanor on Hell's Highway. Still playing the Marine deck. Or no, this is the red for Marine. Yeah. Completely forgot about that. And he's playing, I believe, Dutch-German mechanized. So this was the second game that I played against him in ranked. I did lose the first one in 10 minutes, so it's not really worth casting because I just mess up the opener, and he gets a really good 2-point lead advantage on Nuclear Winter, and at that point I just throw in the towel. So yeah, just saying it out there, he did beat me once before the game before this. But yeah, I'm just not gonna cast it because, as I said, there's nothing interesting is happening that warrants it. At least this is like a 30-minute match, so something's going on. Anyways, playing Red Marine, which I've since decided to stop playing because it's just not as good as Blue Marines in terms of force projection, let's call it. I feel like you gotta kind of play it as a mech deck, and I don't like mech decks, so decided to just stop that. I unload recon infantry here with the Mi-25. I got FJBs here with the SPW and the Samarani Koyakari in Delta, sister with a peon, and I think my plan is to go for Charlie while I'm defending Delta and Echo, trying not to lose them. And this is basically just a speed bump so that he ends up buying a lot more units to dislodge this than necessary. However, he, playing a mechanized deck, has quite a lot of forces here. Recon Leo, Panzergrans, a lot of Stottruppen, I think. Lux is an interesting choice. This is one of my favorite units in European Escalation, and that you just don't see a lot in Red Dragon, but it's definitely a good unit. I like it. Meanwhile, kind of static. Actually, would it be better if we flipped the... yeah, whatever. For the time being, let's flip. So we can observe the action like this, because right now the battle is happening here, but there's a lot of Stottruppen here, Gepard, Recon Tank, so his force composition is pretty strong. He's got Martyr 2s as well, and all I have is some shitty FJB. Like, these two infantry squads are good, and then a Recon Tank and 2 Charioteers, so this is barely enough to try and stop this. Yeah, you don't get SMAs in this deck, you don't get AM Mexes. What else? A lot of stuff that it's just, very useful for the Marine playstyle. It's very lacking in Red Marines, but the Ranikos definitely make up for it. So, trying to shoot at some of these squads, I miss a lot of shots. CC shooting at these transports, so I basically have to pull it back. And I think at this point I'm like, nah, this attack is not gonna work. Because there's a lot of forces here. The Ranikos are doing a good job though, dealing with the Stottruppen. It's because his other one is not engaging it. But it's kind of an even battle, I mean 4-6, and then they get stunned, so this is where you get the upper hand. And then the Recon Leo is in a perfect spot here to go for these sissies, so I move my Recon tank here. In the meantime, we have a K-29 attacking this little incursion from him at the Delta Echo side. We do stop that attack there. And as you can see now, yeah, this is exactly the role that this recon squad is filling. He's got a lot of forces here, trying to get rid of them. Yeah, my attack here doesn't go too well. I do clean up the Stottruppen, so I'm thinking he probably thinks that there's much more here than there is. Although that's hard to say. And in the meantime, I'm just pulling my recon tank back. I'm just trying to defend here now, and I think I'm refocusing my efforts in Echo and Delta, because there was quite a significant push that thankfully the Ka-29 stopped. I really like this little helicopter, but I think we can flip back now because the battle is switching to this side of the map. So he's bought some more reinforcements for that. He's also bought a CV. I guess he's in a decent spot to buy, but I don't know why he gets it for Charlie and not for Delta. So Delta is way safer. So with this roadblock here still in place, not dislodged, I've managed to get Motoshitsen up. And I've managed to also get my T55 here. So me denying him this means that there's no ATGM in this town, which allows me to actually push up tanks like this. So that's really good for me. I lose a Ranico squad there in the open, pull back the other one, and as you can see, he's got a mechanized force now trying to take Delta from me. The Leopard there. Not having a Conquerors here or here, kind of a mistake. Moda Schützen do a decent job until the AMX shows up. This is a pretty good fire support vehicle. And yeah, bought another recon tank here for the side because there's still no ATGMs here, so I might as well take advantage of that while possible. I am reinforcing with some infantry squads here because I do not want to lose Golf. And his 2A1 is engaging my recon T55s. And I think he gets it here. No, he doesn't. Okay. Still in a good spot though. Killed something with the K29. Finally, the recon tank goes down, and then I get a manpad here because this is like the best manpad I can get. That's actually worth a card slot in this deck. Like, I really miss the Mistral. It's such a good unit. And then another recon tank in a pretty good position for it. Shame that I lost this one because this is a perfect time to get side shots on a heavy tank like this. But I think this one goes down as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it does. So I'm losing a lot of recon tanks with this deck. And I've noticed that even in my game against Putin, like 65 and then another 65, and this is basically the only tank you get in this entire deck. So if you don't play them well, you might as well not play this deck, which is why I decided to just stop running it in ranked. It is a fun deck, but like, I don't think it's that competitive. At least not as competitive as the Blue Marines. They seem to have a lot more tools at their disposal. Yeah, so at this point, I'm really struggling in the match. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna lose again because, yeah, I've lost 2 recon tanks. He's got really good map control. My advantage at the top side may as well be non-existent because I'm neither reinforcing it nor do I actually have a substantial force here. I do manage to kill something there, but like, yeah, I have no counters to anything. Yes, he's got Martyrs, he's got AMXs, he's got Gepards, and all I have is a bunch of infantry squads. It's definitely not enough to do anything. Yeah, so in the meantime, I have to replace my losses. As you can see, I'm buying 2 of these again. So in total, that's what, 260 points? Yeah, if you factor in the 2 lost, and then the 2 that you replace, it's a lot of points down the drain. And they add up in a match like this, especially when you're playing against a mechanized deck, which gets its infantry for practically free. And not only is it free, but it's also never ending. Like, whatever you do against a mech deck, there's always more infantry coming. It just never stops. It's so frustrating to play against. But yeah, I'm getting cleaned up in Echo. My infantry got melted, the recon squad got melted, and now the only thing here is this peon, which unsupported is kind of pointless, so I'm not even sure what I'm doing with it at this point. I do still try some weird attack here for no reason at all. So yeah, look at the lines here. There's basically no front line in this top half. There's a Ranico squad here, a Stormtrooper squad here, and then some Morskaya and Sissy here. Luckily the Martyr doesn't engage this, at least for the time being. He does now, and I'm out of range, so yeah, he's just gonna melt me there, so I'm just pulling back. I need a recon tank there, but I'm pretty sure that I can't replace it because they're expensive. And thinking about playstyle, I'd rather buy a 2 stack of AMX 10s for 5 points less than buy one of these, because I can get so much more done with that, and they're faster, and they're better at fire support because there's 2 of them. So yeah, probably the main reason why I don't like this deck is the poor choice of tanks and wheeled kind of fast things, which is what I really like playing with. So I still have this kind of weird foothold here. I've kind of put him in this small forest, which really achieves nothing for me. Looking at it from this perspective, because I can't put a CV there, I can't reinforce there, so kind of pointless. He's got a stud troop in a place where I'm unloading a CV, so that's also stupid from my end. And yeah, this whole game I'm just playing on the back foot right now. I'm worried about losing Delta. He's doing really good progress here. This T-55 actually helps me stop this push, thankfully. Moto Schützen doing a good job here. I think I had them in the upvetted card, I believe. But what he's done now is bought two Leo 2s, and I basically don't have many ways of dealing with them. So yeah, look at this. Wow, that's so lucky. So I do shoot at the Gepard, bring it down to 2 HP, and then a Conqueror shoots at the Leo, but then he does a really nice smoke move there. He smokes off my Conquerors, and he retreats his Leo. So well played from him, and then he fires on my Mi-25, and I think it just dies at this point, because I'm not paying attention here. I think my efforts were focused here, and then I buy a Syria, because that's the only way I'm going to deal with 2A1s, and he doesn't have smoke, thankfully. So I pop one of those there. So that's kind of lucky. Because this Syria as well, like compared to the blue for options, you only get one Syria card. So there's a total of 2 ATGM jets that you can have in Marines. And the Syria is so unreliable. Like 50% of the time it misses both of its shots. And then if you lose it, then you basically get stuck. This is what happened in my game against Talbot. I lost both of my Syrias, then I couldn't deal with Leos. And it's not a fun deck to play in a ranked setting. It really isn't. T-55 killed something here. I think it's a martyr. He's trying to sneak a looks, but I got Hibernuts and Musti there, so it's fine. Sturtruppen are still here, so they could actually kill my CV. I actually don't know that they're there as well, because I have this huge gap in my defensive line that I never bothered to plug. And I managed to stabilize the lines in Delta, and now I'm actually even pushing up. I'm smoking this off in fear of something being here, like maybe an AMX-10, which would have absolutely killed all my squads there. But yeah, the smoke and the recon tank helped me push up, and as you can see, the CV is getting engaged by Stoichrup, and this is such a bad play. But I do have a K-29, which I believe I send downwards to help assist this. And T-55 in a decent spot to defend against this as well. So I like putting tanks in this ridge line for defensive line against an attack like this. The Hibernute as well, helping a bit. These are actually really good. If you can keep them alive, that is. The CV miraculously survives, actually. I had a Syria going for the Recon Leo. I believe it's spotted. And I do believe I miss it. Or no, what did I even kill there? It's not what I wanted to kill. I just kill a Martyr because I lose sight on it. But I know specifically this is what I was going for. And now he does a really good job at pushing up here, because 1 T-55 is not enough to deal with a whole mechanized wave. But I can put him in like this concave. So anytime you're attacking into something like this, it's never gonna end well for you. So I'm not sure why he's throwing away his units the way he is now, especially this 2A1. Like if I had a recon tank here, he could have side shot, and then maybe if I had like some infantry there, he's just putting himself at unnecessary risk. And then the Syria comes out again. The smoke is again late. Pop goes another Leo. So the Syrias are actually keeping me in this game right now. He is again pushing up unsupported tanks in the open. And in the meantime, I'm like, screw it, I'll just take over this side. Because like whenever I see my opponent do a push like this, I just try to roadblock him as much as I can. And then I just do a sweeping maneuver on the side, trying to cut this kind of area off. And then Syria gets a Gepard as well. So his push here completely wasted. There's no point to doing that. He achieved nothing, and he just lets me basically come back in this game. So I think this is the tipping point where I'm a bit more confident in my position on the map. Yeah, I do lose a T55 there to the Milan, but I managed to get these two forest lines, so that's pretty good for me. Still haven't plugged this gap, which is just awful. But I do get a supply truck here to reinforce the Ranikos, so that's pretty good for me actually. I'm still holding this Charlie position, and as I said, it's really not doing anything for me in this match, but at least it's keeping him on his toes. And as I said in the previous cast, like the more you can make your opponent think that there's something there, the better it is for you, because you can just play the bluff and basically focus your efforts elsewhere while still getting a free zone. Basically, another Leo 2 here with no smoke support, and another Syria just taps him instantly. Yeah, he lost, I believe, what, 3 or 4 already? Completely unnecessary. Syria taps the Roland as well. That's had the seed support there as well. He's just throwing away units at this point. It's not really sure what he's even attacking here. Like, yeah, you can get this town, but if you have this town but you don't have this forest, it's pointless, because I can just, yeah, as you can see, I have this T55 there and just freely sniping units that are passing by, getting side shots. And then if I actually still have the recon tank here where the Ranikos are, and then with this one here, whatever is in this area here is just getting side shot left and right. K29 here actually doing a good job stopping whatever attack he was trying to do. Supply truck proving very valuable in keeping these alive. So again, I'm just stalling and buying time in Charlie. But I actually have nothing in golf. If he actually just selected everything and fast move towards my CV, he would have had 2 zones for free. He basically also has Echo, so the only zone I would be contesting is Delta. I'm not in a good spot this match at all, actually. It's all bluff at this point. Charioteer with the help of the Motor Schützen, help out clear the Milan, which allows me to flex my T55s a bit more. And another Milan should go down to these Motor Schützen here. So the front line is quite strange in this game, actually. It's not very stable. Units are slipping through the cracks. I cleared the Milan, but I'm not taking that town because I don't want to walk this open side. I'm trying to be a bit more conservative with some of my units there. This Syria, I believe, is just going for the AMX. And yeah, this is what I mean. Syrias are just totally unreliable. Most ATGM planes will at least hit one missile and then miss with the other, but Syrias have a habit of just completely missing both shots over and over again. So I really don't like them. And then my goal here is to spot the Leo and then engage with Syria, but Firestarter level micro strikes again, and I'm not sure what this is doing for half an hour. I lose both the Ranikos in the meantime, and I at least get the recon tank, but at this point it's not worth it because I've lost whatever advantage I have here, which was never a real advantage to begin with. But yeah, at least I'm keeping him busy in Charlie, so that's something. The more you can spread mech deck thin, I think the better it is for you, because mech decks get their power by concentrating into one area and just overwhelming you with cheap infantry and fire support and medium and heavy tanks, which Marine has none of those options. Marine, you have to kind of play it on as many flanks as possible, trying to spread your opponent thin, and then use your superior air power to dominate them from the sky, which is funny because Marine, Red Marine air power is kind of bad. And even Blue Marine air power is kind of bad because your plane selection is limited. Like, every other specialization gets access to all planes, but not Marine. And it's like, how does that even make sense in this game? Like, I get Eugen, we're trying to think in terms of, oh, is this carrier born or not? But like, it just ends up gimping such a fun specialization. But you can still make do. But I definitely like the blue 4 air tab a lot better. Sissy here holding the line. Killed some transport or something, I don't really remember. And at this point in the match, the game kind of stalls a bit. I have control of Delta, so I'm buying a CV for it because he is ticking. I am worried about Golf though because I only have a Sissy, a Peon, and a Raniko defending it. And I basically don't have control of Echo, but I'm trying to remedy that by buying some Motoshitsun. At least get half of Echo so I can maybe plop a CV down where CC is. That's my reasoning at this stage in the match. Milan there shooting. So this is the reason why I landed that recon squad early in the game, because I don't want to have this happen. Because when you put an ATGM squad here, it's so hard to attack Echo, because then all you need is an ATGM squad here, and then this side of Echo is basically under your control. So I buy an Avia to dislodge that, because it's definitely worth it. And I'm confident because I killed Rolands and Gepards earlier with my Seed and Sirius, so I do kill his Milan there, which is pretty good. So I can freely attack with Motoshitsuns and Fire Support and whatever. And then in the meantime, we're just trying to get rid of the last remaining forces in Delta. What did I kill here? Just a shitty transport. Yeah, so I have more T-55s here, solidifying my control in Delta. But the match is kind of stalled right now. So I'm thinking if I'm gonna win this, I need full control of Echo. I cannot just get half of Echo. Because like the more time passes by, you can just buy reinforcements and get half a Delta back as well. As I said, I'm not gonna beat a mech deck head on, especially not those 2A1s. And Martyr 183s as well, they're pretty good, even against the Peons, because they got the Milan F2s. But my attack here in Echo goes pretty well, and also having this XA here tells me, well, there's nothing in Echo, so you might as well just try and take this forest line here, and maybe even this town if I'm able to, so I think, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm attacking with infantry, completely unsupported, no AA, no tanks, no nothing. It's the Firestarter way. I do have a Biss, it's a decent plane, but yeah, and here is where we unleash the marine firepower. I got a Syria, a Seed, and an Avia, and I'm trying to dislodge whatever forces might be here, because I'm still thinking there's probably infantry here, right, or whatever. Turns out there's nothing more but a CV. So the plan is to... Where is this actually bombing? I think this is bombing this. Because yeah, in my mind, I'm thinking there's got to be a Milan here, right? If that's what I'm bombing. Yeah. So that's the reason why I bombed that. Avia armor helps me out a lot. I lose the Seed. Biss is engaging the KWS, and the Hibernate misses. And the Biss finishes the job. So that's actually a worthwhile trade in my book. I lose a Seed for a KWS. However, here is the brilliant micro with planes that I have. I lose a plane for no reason at all. Completely not needed. And then, that's a beautiful split. Kill the CV, and the thing, Siri actually does me proud this game. Manages to get out alive as well, so very lucky. And by the time the reinforcements get here, I've basically done my job in Echo. I'm taking it a +1. Managed to even get this town with the smoke cover. Put a peon in a vital position, because now I'm thinking there's no Milan here, so I'm probably safe to do this. And the other T-55 is keeping control of this top side of Delta, and I basically stopped trying to worry about Charlie, even though I could still probably push up here. So see how like psychologically this matters so much. Like he probably thinks there's still something here, because he never bothered to check it. So he unloaded a Panzergun squad here, and now he's walking it up. So like this is what I'm talking about. Like just try to use the fog of war to your advantage, because it works against you most of the time. So might as well try to flip it. And then yeah, this is perfect. Killing the Milan, trying to keep this town ATGM free. That's the name of the game. It's a perfect spot for my T-55. Helped me to keep control of Delta as long as possible. And now I'm at a +2, and I'm just trying to maintain this lead as much as possible. I start to finally buy some recon tanks here. They're spread all over this side of the map. And I know this town is free, so I can do this with my T-55, just keep it in the open. Same with the Charioteers. However, I'm not happy with having this. I want this forest line and these two town blocks. I want them. So I'm pushing up my Ranikos with the help of Smoke and T-55s. And yet another 2A1 unsupported goes down to the Syrias. This is the only thing keeping me in this game. Syria goes down, but at this point it's paid for itself 10 times over. So totally worth losing it. didn't have a seed that time, so that was unfortunate, but yeah. And in the meantime, we have yeah, some more attacks from him, but I think it's too late at this point. He's lost way too many points in 2A1s, unsmoked, unsupported. Siri actually really on my side this game. Could have, yeah, it was down to RNG basically. If those Syria, especially in the early game, decided to miss their shots, it probably would have ended a bit more one-sided for me, I think. But yeah, I do a good job of cleaning up Echo now. Ranikos and Sisi trying to take care of those vital positions there, pushing up the T55 as well. And in the meantime, I'm just trying to plug some defenses here. And I'm also trying to, I believe, use this kind of forest line to walk up here, because I've done this before in 1v1s, and not a lot of players pay attention to this. So I'm thinking, well, 13 minutes, I'm on a decent tick, but like I'm worried about losing Echo, because realistically, you can't hold this for too long, especially against the mech deck. So I'm trying to make moves in other parts of the map. So we got two Raniko squads trying to do exactly what I said before. Attack from the bottom side of Charlie over the hill there. And in the meantime, I'm just trying to stall here, buy some time. And I believe the Syria comes out now. Yes, it does. Same with the Avia, trying to just stall this attack. So pulling back the Ranikos because they're damaged. Same with the T55s because they're not going to hold this anyways. CC's giving me a pretty good insight on what units there are there. And meantime, as you can see, all my reinforcements are going into this. So I'm refocusing my efforts in Charlie now. Because as I said, you have to spread a mechanized deck thin. That's exactly what I'm doing. This is what I mean with the Syria. I lose the Avia, and then so does the Syria go down there. And this is a pretty bad play there. Because now I don't have any more ATGM jets, so now I have no way of dealing with the Leopard 2A1s, which is exactly what happened in my game against Talbot. Which is why I stopped playing this deck, because I can't, not with my micro, I can't just rely on two Syria cards, not in Marine. So I'm like, you know what, you can have Echo. I fight this battle because I'm pretty confident that I can win it with two tanks. Even though this one's not even shooting there. Luckily he misses there. And I'm not sure what I'm doing at this point. Now I'm telling it to attack, and then I get it. So it was just lucky there. And in the meantime, we have a flood of super Finns trying to take control of Charlie. So as I said, not a lot of players, they don't pay attention to this part. Like, you unload infantry here, walk them down like this, because this is all cover, and then you can just pop up here. It's brilliant. So that's my plan now. Yeah, to just confuse him, force him to reinvest. I kill the CV, I believe. He still hasn't taken control of this, so that's pretty good for me. But he has his half of Echo at this point. But I'm still reinforcing it. I don't intend on giving the zone up. I do kill the CV, and at this point we have regained the tick advantage. At a solid +3, I am at this point in the match pretty confident that this is mine. Especially mopping him up here, completely cleaning the zone. Now if I wanted to, I could have attacked with my reinforcements here, but I don't think I do that because I'm just trying to play a bit conservative at this point. Yeah, just trying to defend my half of Echo. And I'm basically not even worried about Delta at this point. I kill more Milan squads there. Yeah, see, he's just desperately trying to get Milans into the town because it's such a vital position to have. But having those tanks there, being able to cut it off, it's so good. Yeah, but at this point, there's really not much he can do. Maybe I could even split this up to like ×3. I'm just trying to push my CV out of there, but again, there's no point because I'm still at a +2. He does a good job of cleaning up some of these Ranikos there, but still, like, they're so OP. And they're not OP, but they're a really good unit. They're 35 points. When I say OP, I don't actually mean OP. I just mean this unit's really good. That's what OP means. And I win the second game after losing the first one to him. I think he played the same deck as well. But yeah, looking back at the replay, the only reason I won was because of him throwing away two A1s unsupported into Sirius. Had he had some smoke and KWS support, I don't think I would have won this game, to be fair. Not with the way the map was looking at the start. But yeah, and also spreading him thin helped me stabilize my flanks, so I could attack zones a bit easier that way. So thanks for watching this other post-game analysis, and I'll be seeing you with another one.